I have the adjustable pen mandrel set up right here on the lathe. I have this wood blank here all set up and drilled, squared off. It's ready to turn. So let's go ahead and start turning it and getting it round. So I have everything turned down, at least into a cylinder now. I'm going to take the calipers and the parting tool and measure a little bit bigger than the length of the bushing, and then I'll measure that length a few times in here. Now that I've got these marked out, I can go ahead and smooth everything out with the gouge. All of this formed. I have just a little bit of a crown, barely noticeable, but right now I have just a little bit of a step up there so I can sand everything down so everything will be a really nice clean finish, and I'm liking how this is looking. We're gonna go ahead and take out the tool rest. That's very important. You don't want to be sanding with the tool rest in. And now we can go ahead and start sanding. I'm gonna start with 180. Here where the thorn would have been, and there's a few of those other dots there, like there's another little dot. That's kind of cool. I like the character of this grain. 400. Now we're gonna do a 600 grit finish, and then we'll actually apply the finish on the wood. I really do like the grain that's really showing up in this rosewood. I think it has a lot of character, even though it's pretty subtle. We're gonna use a lacquer finish on this pen, so I'm gonna mix it up and try not to get any on the outside of the can or else it won't seal. And then I'll take my rag and wipe off the stir stick. And I'm just using a metal stir stick because that's all I have. But now I have the finish on the rag. We'll try to balance that on there. And now we can go ahead and wipe the finish on the pen. I have 3 coats of lacquer here on the pen, and it sure does look nice, so we can go ahead and take it out here. Actually loosen up the nut just like that. Now we can slide this off. I'm sure I'm liking how this looks. Take out the bushings, and then we can put these back on so we don't lose them. And man, that blank looks really nice. I'm happy with how that turned out. So now we'll follow the instructions on the pen assembly. And it says press the clip coupler assembly in first. So we'll find that part, which is this one right here. So we'll take it out of the bag. And everything is press fit with these pens. So now we have this, we can go over to the vise. Now, with the vices, you can use a vise, just make sure you have wooden jaws or pieces of wood to protect it. You can use like an arbor press, that's best case scenario, but just make sure whenever you clamp it, it has even pressure. It goes in straight. That's very important. So now we can go ahead and put that there. Tighten it down just a little bit. And then straighten it up. Make sure that it's straight. And then press it in until it seats right there. Alright, and now we can go ahead and put on the next piece, which is the tip. So we'll open up the tip, which is this piece here. It's really cool seeing how shiny these are when they come right out of the package. They actually coat the 24 karat gold plate in epoxy, so it's actually a pretty durable finish and it won't rub off, which is pretty nice because gold plate is pretty thin. If you didn't have the coat on it, it would probably rub off pretty soon. So now we'll put this on the other end. Just make sure it goes in straight. If it doesn't go in straight and it goes in a little bit crooked, the whole pen's ruined. So put a little bit of tension. Make sure you have it straight. If it's not perfectly perfect, it'll kind of auto self-align. Just make sure it's going on straight. Gotta push down a little bit. There we go. And there we go. Now we have the tip on. Now we can go ahead and screw in insert the refill cartridge in, and then with the spring, so that will go in next. And this is a press fit, just like that. And we'll put the refill in. And then screw in the assembly. And now we can push on the cap, very end cap. And that will be it. And when you push this end cap on, it just goes on by hand. You don't need to put it in the vise to put it on. And this sure is shiny. And sure have it packaged well. Now we'll take the end and push it on. Just like that. Now we have the pen all assembled, retracts in there nicely, and goes out just how I wanted it. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.